Mini Jake, the tribe has spoken.
Fuck you, Kevin.
Aw, fuck you too, sweetie.
I'm JJ, one of the original Tribe of Nerds members. You can catch me on Marvel, Pokemon, and other gaming podcasts.
What up? It's Josh, resident superhero nerd, but I also dabble in the occasional super villain as well.
Some may know me as the Chaos Gremlin, but really I'm just Joe King.
Pikachu, use Volt Tackle! Good job, Pikachu!
On the Tribe of Nerds.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tribe of Nerds. Kevin and I are back for Survivor 48, the penultimate week, episode 12, and something interesting happened. We got a blindside.
Listen, you people have been begging for it. Here we got it. We got a blindside. Not the blindside most people were hoping for, but an interesting blindside nonetheless.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking that was necessarily going to happen, but you know,
Yeah.
I'm okay with this. I actually think now, I mean, we'll talk about it. I do think now Kyle is probably in the front winner's position.
Oh yeah. I also think it's interesting to kind of paying attention to what they say. It seems like their kind of strategy. I don't know if you can even call it I don't know what to call it, but their goal seems to be get to 4. Because at 4, it's the fire making challenge, right? So that's not they're not planning on voting at 4, you know? So I think if you think about it in terms of their plan is to get to Kyle and Kamilla are planning to get to 4.
Yep.
And if you keep that in mind, oh wait, yeah, this is a solid play because now they're guaranteed to go to 4. I don't think you should play to go to 4, but if that's their plan, I think this is a good way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, because the fire making being there, at that point, I don't know, that offsets certain things of how you would normally try to get to 4, because you can get to 4 now and then. Right,
because it's kind of whoever wins the challenge is gonna put up, and I think they're kind of thinking that if Joe or Eva wins, they're gonna put up Kyle and Kamilla. If Kyle or Kamilla wins, they're gonna put Joe and Eva. Right, I think they're thinking about it in that kind of friendly term, which is not always the most exciting Survivor, but I do I don't know, we've played these games. There are times that I play this way where I want to go to the end with these people, and if I lose to these people, I lose to these people, and that's okay.
Exactly.
And I still I like all of them, and we'll get to Tribal Council. I love the things that they're doing. I think it's hilarious.
The editing is great.
I cackle watching this season, in a good way.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the editing at Tribal. We'll get there later on, but yeah, and I was gonna say to your point on the us being there and us wanting to go to the end with certain people and being okay with losing. That's exactly how Nicole and I played, and I'm just if I lose to Nicole, then so be it. But it just worked out.
Right. Well,
lost it herself.
That's an often overlooked part of it is sometimes you bring the people with you who you recognize I might lose this, and you bring the people with you who you're okay losing it to. Mm-hmm. I think we all think about what are you going to do to win, and I think all of them think that they have already done the things to win. So it's a matter of, if I don't win, who do I want to be the other person sitting with me? Right. Which is, I said, not necessarily the most exciting, but I like all of them. I would be happy with any of the final 6 winning.
Yeah, I at this point, yeah, now final 5.
Now even final 5, but once we get down to 6, I like all of them, and I think that they all have a compelling story to tell of why they should. So
I agree. Well, getting into the episode now. So, I mean, we do also get some of Eva talking about how she didn't need to use the safety without power. So, that happened because I was curious. I was like, she didn't even use it. I mean, obviously she didn't have to.
She didn't have to, and like I think it's funny that people like hate on her for like being so arrogant. But like, if she was arrogant, she would have used it to show off that she had it, right? But she didn't even tell anybody. Like, she didn't make a big deal out of it. She was like, no, I didn't need to, so I didn't. So I think that like action speaks louder than like her just honestly saying, yes, I feel like I'm in a good position, you know?
Right. Yeah, I mean,
and she's so comfortable. They have to get blindsided at some point. Like, they have to. This editing of how comfortable Eva is too much. It's too much.
Right.
She has to get blindsided at some point.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, they're gonna have to try really hard with that one because she has the idol still. But for the
even if they vote out Joe, right? Like, I just need her to be surprised at some point and just be like, ugh. Like, I need the rug swept out from underneath her at some point because they have showed us so much of her being so comfortable.
Yeah, I agree. And she's my winner pick, and I agree. So, well, she's my winner pick at the beginning.
And I'm okay with her getting blindsided, but still being right. Like, a Joe goes.
Yeah,
I would love if Joe goes because then Sarah's out. But Joe goes, and like she like picks up the pieces. She makes it to the end. She wins. That's still a great story, right? Because like, okay, like, no, you guys took out Joe and you did surprise me. And I still rebounded, right? Like, that'd be a great story to tell. So like, I'm not saying I want her voted out, but like, she's talked so much about being comfortable. I need her to get uncomfortable. Like, I just need it to happen. I need to see it happen.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting. I wonder what the reaction on the Facebook groups would be.
I don't even read the posts anymore. I see one of those group names and I just X. Not even reading it.
Oh my, yeah. All right, so then we get to the reward challenge and it's holding yourself on the board. So even at one point they have to like stretch their legs out and like Eva tries to readjust and she has to drop out because she used her legs as leverage.
Which, like, we saw Rafe do the same thing back in Guatemala at the final immunity challenge. Like, it's easy to forget that, like, oh wait, I'm not supposed to do that thing. Whoops.
Right.
You have like no sleep and no food.
Exactly.
And like, Shauhin even says, can we not get something that requires upper body? Like, can we get a leg challenge? He's like, I work so hard on these legs. And then it's like, hold yourself up by your arms. And I'm like, oh, poor Shauhin. And then he's talking about this cyst he has in his wrist that like causes pain. I'm like, poor Shauhin. And then Shauhin pulls out the win. Like, proud of you, buddy.
Yeah. Good on him for winning this challenge. Does a really good swan dive into the water too.
Yeah.
Then he decides to bring Joe and Kyle on to the sanctuary where good things happen because that's all we're stuck on. Again, is only the sanctuary.
Take them on like a helicopter tour of Fiji. Like, do some. Anyway,
we'll never get that again. Yeah, Survivor 50 is going to be all the sanctuary as well. We realize this.
I get
our celebration.
Those are the things that I get annoyed with. I don't get annoyed with the players making safe choices. I get annoyed with production being lazy, but whatever.
Yeah, it is what it is. But at this point,
lazy. It's fine.
Yeah. So, and we get Kyle kind of talking about his confessional that he really wants to. He hasn't forgotten about Shauhin's actions earlier in the game, and he really wants to pull this blind side off at this point. So we get back to camp, and we get this plot between the secret duo of Kyle and Kamilla. They want to throw Shauhin under the bus.
Right. So Shauhin finally like does the thing. He's like, okay, let's make the move on Joe and Eva. Let's do it. Right. And Kyle's like, perfect. I can use that against you now.
Yeah.
Like, and a part of me is like, no, take out Joe and Eva, right? Like, ma. But it also does make sense to be able, if Kyle and or Kamilla can sit at the end with Joe and or Eva and be like, yeah, this power duo that has been in control the whole time, I've actually been manipulating them the entire time. Like, I think that is a power play to make at a final tribal council.
Well, and honestly, yeah, I mean, I feel like Joe and Eva just burned all their credibility at this point.
And I've been saying, I've been saying since the merge, since before the merge, this like honesty and integrity, right? Like that is not actually the storyline, right? Like there's actually a lot of backstabbing going on, right? So like, here we go. Like they just so dirty when Kyle got them to do to Shauhin. So dirty. It worked so well. Joe even said at one point, he's like, is Kyle being honest? Can I believe him? And I'm like, you shouldn't.
He shouldn't. Like, he really shouldn't. I was shocked that he really got in Joe's head that much, and Joe has freaking immunity at this point, where he shouldn't be this paranoid.
This is how comfortable you get that, like, you should know. You should be way more, like, you should say something to Shauhin of, like, did you say this? And they just, we're playing honesty and integrity. Nobody would lie like that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So then we do get the immunity challenge, and it's multi-step. They throw the ball up
they have to get the ball down.
Yeah.
Right? Because I remember like watching the struggle with that. Then they had to throw it and catch it in like the hook, and then they had to walk on the barrel, which was hilarious to watch. Like, I know it's high stakes, high stress. I would laugh every time someone fell. Like, it's such, like, when is this a thing that you're practicing before you get on Survivor?
Never.
Not. So, like, every time they fall forward, backwards, they just, like, can't move. They're, like, wobbling all around. I think it's hilarious, and I would think it was hilarious there.
Yeah, they haven't done this challenge in a while. I think, like, the last time we saw them moving on a barrel was Worlds Apart, maybe? Because I remember, like, Holloway doing it, but...
Yeah, and, like, it's... like, they've done different variants. Like, the challenge just did it where they had the rope hanging overhead, and so they were holding onto the rope. But, like, this is a very different type of balance because you have to, like, use the tension of the rope to stay up.
Mm-hmm.
But you also, like, can't lean back too far because that makes the barrel roll too much. Like, it's a like, doing it this specific way is very complicated in a way that's very fun and leads to people falling down in funny ways.
Yeah, it's been always very, very, very fun. So they pull the barrel, they move the ball on the stick through the obstacles, and Joe pretty easily wins the immunity.
I really wanted Joe to lose, but they were like, he ran away with that.
Yeah, he ran away with that. I think we should mention also the moment with his sister. I mean, we've known that he's had this story with his sister of why he's on the show from the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
And I don't understand the people that are saying like the show exploited that. It's like if these people didn't feel comfortable with that type of thing, they could ask for it not to be shown, but they all sign up.
Do I think that production says to him something like, well, do you wanna like go talk to her out on the beach? Like, I think that they like plant the seed for him to do that. Absolutely, of course they do. They're creating a show. Like, they want the dramatic moment. But do I think that is not genuinely how he feels? No, of course. Of course that is his genuine, like, heartbroken, missing his sister reaction. You know? Like, so yeah, do I think there's a little bit of like a hey, when there's no one around, did you want to maybe go down to the beach and maybe say your goodbye? Like, do I think that they had that conversation with him? Probably. But like, that was a genuine moment from him. Like, the last conversation he had with her, he fought with her. Like, do you think that doesn't follow him every single day of his life?
Yeah.
Like,
it's heartbreaking to hear that story and like the demons he has to struggle with every single day.
Right.
So, But, you know, at least I think it's cool that he was able to win immunity in the same, you know, round.
I think I mean, I know we're not at predictions yet, but this season I feel like has done a good job of wrapping up people's storylines, right? So like Shauhin, spoiler alert for the next section for Tribal Council, Shauhin has been wanting to win a challenge. He's been like feeling so frustrated that he can't win a challenge because he's there with like all these Greek gods, right? So he's frustrated that he can't win. He finally wins the challenge. He wins the reward challenge, and he gets voted out in this episode, right? So like this season has done a pretty good job of like wrapping up storylines in that way. Like I don't feel like I felt like Mitch's storyline had kind of ended, but he's still there. But most of them like kind of felt Charity's was up when her time was up. I kind of felt like Chrissy's, you know, like her storyline was wrapped up when it was wrapped up. Like David was a great ending to that story. Like, and I feel like we've gotten like, okay, Joe like did the thing now where he had his goodbye for his sister. We're waiting for Eva to be blindsided. Like he has to go. He has to go at 5. He has to go at 5. Like he has to lose immunity and he has to go.
Sacrifice himself for Eva. I mean, it could happen.
Sacrifice himself for Eva, and yeah, it has to happen. Like it's too good of a storyline to be wrapped up for him to like have this moment saying goodbye to his sister, and then he wins the immunity. And like he's only there because it was her thing, and he like wants to do something to be close to her, and like he does it like this. It's too, and like he does it, and he like fully feels all the feelings of it, and then he wins the immunity. And like I think that's a great time for him to be done.
Yeah. I think he could easily be voted out at first in the finale, but we'll get to that in predictions.
Yeah.
So this all happens. Joe has won immunity. Joe is starting to confront people now, including confronting Shauhin and like basically trying to discern whether Shauhin is lying or telling the truth, whether Kyle is lying or telling the truth. Kamilla, you know, corroborates Kyle's story. It's chaos.
It's so beautiful. It's like, regardless of how the season ends, you have to, and regardless of how much you like or don't like the season, you have to appreciate how good of a duo Kyle and Kamilla are. Like, yes, Joe and Eva are like the David, or not, the Goliath duo, right? Like they are super strong. They are out in front. They are calling shots, right? Like they're the like heads. But Kyle and Kamilla are so good.
Yeah.
They played them so good.
Like a fiddle. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
Beautiful to watch.
Yeah, they really played them. I can't believe when I read comments, they're like, I hope Kyle or Kamilla don't win. I'm like, have you only seen like one episode of the show? Like, or the season?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. They have made a lot of references to if only one of us makes it.
Yeah.
I do think there's a good chance that only one of them is going to make it, but regardless, you have to just like appreciate the way like they can work together without even having to like fully discuss it, right? Like they don't even like they just they're on the same wavelength. It's so good. They're so good at it. And like this is why I do love this season, even though it's not the most exciting. It's like I'm in awe watching them. And then can we talk about the tribal council editing?
Yeah, let's go for it. Yep. The editing is something that I absolutely notice where they turn off or they like
they like
the
slowly
noise.
Bring down Shauhin talking and just like zoom in on Joe like losing his mind.
Yes. Trying to listen to both Kyle and Shauhin.
It is up there with the fly like buzzing by his face during that the challenge where he had to I love this. I've seen so many people complain about the editing and shit on the editing. I think this editing is amazing. I am like,
yeah, what
I think it's great.
Yeah, I don't understand the people that are going to continually claim that. I think they claim that because a couple of people didn't get as much of an edit, but I feel like everybody's gotten something, and it's just.
I feel like everyone's got like I don't know, like
I think it's gonna be Star. Star was the one that like got everybody in a tizzy.
But like Star was always kind of like kind of
All over the place.
on her own island, right? Like she
Yeah.
was she
I
was
don't
searching for idols by herself, getting
Yeah.
caught. Like she was telling people about the clue that she should have been telling. She was like telling Eva's closest allies she wanted to target Eva. Like she's always been like doing her own thing, and like it worked for as long as it could work. And we got to see her personality. We got to see her like be there for Cedric. Like we got to see that she is very intelligent, very like socially intelligent and compassionate person. We saw all of her good sides, but we also saw that she's not the best strategist.
No.
So like I feel like people who are complaining about the editing, I don't know. I don't know. You can't fit everything from 2 days, even if they're down to 2 days per episode. You can't fit everything into a 90-minute episode. And like what we are getting, I feel like if you just pay attention, all of the decisions make sense. Like,
right.
I have not been floored by any single person's decision.
Right.
I've been watching Tribal Council like, is this gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? Is this the time? Right? Like, I have absolutely been in suspense, but I have not been like, that doesn't make any sense. You know?
Yeah. I don't get the people that are claiming that either. So I've enjoyed this season throughout. I like when a season can explain what has been happening. So and it has for me.
Yeah.
So but yeah, after all the listening from Joe, I honestly was not sure how it was gonna go. And I honestly wasn't when I saw 2 votes, I'm like, oh, so did they vote with Shauhin? Because I didn't know Kamilla had voted for
I can't wait to hear Camilla's reasoning for voting for Mitch. Like, because she is so smart, right? Like she had a reason. There's a reason. So like I'm very interested to hear it.
Yeah, I might have said 2 votes for. I meant 2 votes for Mitch. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
2 votes to keep Shauhin.
Yeah.
We all know what you meant. It's fine.
So yeah, and 4-2, Shauhin is gone. He did give a reference to Jonathan Penner. He said on his social media, his like walking out and saying something while he was walking away. Like, yes, I love the Penner reference.
Yeah, I mean, Shauhin is just he's a great player. Like he is a great player. He made it to the final 6. Wait, doesn't that mean he made it farther than Penner? Because didn't Penner make it 7?
Penner's highest placement is 7th in 2 of his seasons. Because Cook Islands and Philippines, he placed 7th.
Yeah. I just knew that off the top of my head. So like, I'm just happy for Shauhin.
Yeah. That's it's wild.
Got to live out a lot of his like wants, and like didn't get the final like thing, but like the fandom loves him.
Yeah, I like Shauhin, so I wouldn't mind seeing him back for 50 or some other returnee season. So, whether that happens or not,
bring back Say.
Oh boy, I don't know about that one, but
I loved Say. I loved everything Say brought to the show. Bring Say back. Bring her back for Game Changers too.
No, I don't dislike Say, but. Personally, but I'm not like her biggest fan. So I'm
in the fan club.
But anyway, now that Shauhin is gone, our week 12 draft check-in right before the finale, our poor little Cam has been eliminated. The first person in our 3 drafts that includes the Australian Survivor draft with Michael and Austin, he didn't have a player make the finale.
I mean, he had Mary, who looked for a minute like she was gonna like weasel her way to the end.
Yeah,
or not to the end, but at least to the finale. And Shauhin, who like has been amazing. So like he had good players. It just didn't work out. Sorry, buddy.
Sorry, Cam.
Sweet Canadian Cam. Yeah. Unfortunately, that means a certain peg-legged friend of ours is still in.
Yeah, you and Sarah are tied at 2. I'm at 1 with Eva, so.
It's fine. Okay, if we're talking about predictions,
Yeah, let's go to it.
Joe has to go. It has to be Joe. It has to be Joe. Like, I'm just sitting here like, it has to be Joe. It has to be Joe. I think Joe is going first. I think Kyle and Kamilla get sent to fire, probably by Eva. I think Kyle probably wins. We saw the stuff in the beginning, how Kamilla said that she was like not confident in her challenge skills. And then I think Mitch is the 0 vote finalist, and I think Kyle wins it all.
Yeah.
That's my prediction for how this plays out.
Yeah, I'm going to agree for the finale predictions. For me, I think that's probably how it's going to go. Eva's going to play the idol on herself, and she's going to ask Joe, should I play this on you? And he's like, no. He insists that she plays it for herself.
Yeah, no, play it. And they're so confident. He's going to be like, no, just play it for yourself. Just play it for yourself.
Yeah. And then Eva's going to cry as she says goodbye to Joe. And
listen, I'm going to be so proud of Eva when her support system that has been there for her the entire time goes. And I feel like she's going to rise from those ashes and she's going to win that challenge. Like that, she's going to use that to motivate her. Like I'm going to be so proud of her if that's the way this plays out. And I think that she is going to be like, you two stabbed me in the back. So like, Kyle, you two are obviously a duo. Yeah, like I feel like she's gonna know it was them and she's gonna put them against each other.
I agree.
And so
Kyle has to win based on the edit. I think Kyle has to win.
Right. Like, and I'm gonna be disappointed because I love Kamilla. I love Kamilla. I'm gonna be disappointed, but again, amazing job, Kamilla. Kamilla, master of this game. Amazing. So I will feel bad, but it's fine. And yeah, I think Eva will obviously get votes. I think people like Eva. People respect Eva. She's gonna get the David vote. She's gonna get the Joe vote. Right? She's gonna get some votes. But I think Kyle is gonna get more votes. And I think Mitch, because Mitch, like I said, I think his story has kind of been told and kind of been wrapped up. I think that he is therefore just kind of there. So I predict he is the 0 vote finalist, which is like, I'm not at all shitting on Mitch. Mitch is amazing. Yeah. Like Mitch is great. And if that's not how it plays out, I'll be happily surprised. But that's my prediction.
I'd probably agree. I think Eva will get Joe's vote for sure. And then from there, maybe she'll get stars. Maybe I'm trying to think. Like I feel like those two is probably who she's going to get. David could as well, but I also feel like David could easily vote Kyle. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think David will be. I think David is the type of person who will be swayed by Joe because David's a little dirty dirt, right? So when Joe is like just on his constant preaching to the choir about how great Eva is and how much she deserves to win, like I think David will buy it. And I think Star, yeah, that makes sense for her to vote for Eva too. Like she had a respect for Eva. Like she grew to respect Eva.
I think for the storyline, it makes sense that Star probably votes Eva to win.
Yeah. I think most of them at that point vote Kyle. I think they're going to be so impressed
by Kyle's game. Yeah.
Yeah. Like.
Yeah. I'm going to say Kyle wins. I'm going to predict 6-2 to 0 or.
How many people? It started at 11, so the jury is 8.
Yeah, so it'd be 6-2 to 0 maybe. I think Eva gets 2 votes at least, and then.
Or did it start at 12? No, it started.
It started at 11. It was Charity, and then.
And then Say went. So it's a jury of 8. Yeah, I would say let's say I'm going to be a little more. I'm going to say it's 5-3.
It could be. I'm not going to be shocked if David gets swayed to vote for Kyle. Like I think it could be 5-3. I'm going to say 6-2 to 0.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to say 5-3, and no hate to Mitch for being like I would be so proud of myself to be a 0 vote finalist. Like that he got there. I just don't think that he has. Like I think that he has a good case for why he should win, but I don't think it's going to be better than the other two.
Right. I agree. All right. Well, that is episode 12. We have done 12 episodes together. And next week's the finale. Wow. crazy how the season flew by, and we'll conclude our draft. So I'm interested to see how it plays out. I've had including Australian Survivor Brains versus Brawn 2. I've had someone make the finale in 45 through now, except for 46. 46 was the only one because I had Hunter that season as my winner pick. But otherwise, 45, 47, 48, Brains versus Brawn 2, I've had a finalist at least.
I blocked 46 out. Don't remember. Who would I have picked in 45? I probably would have, based on because I didn't do it with you. I think I probably would have picked Hannah because, you know, she has my last name as her first name, so I probably would have picked her. That wouldn't have been a good choice.
Oh God.
I probably would have picked Caleb, which would have been a good choice, but he didn't make the end. I think if I was gonna pick somebody if I had picked someone to make the finale, it probably would have been Katura.
Yeah, 44. I had Carson before that, so I did have someone.
I was picking Jam Jam and Carolyn in 44. Like those two, hilarious.
Yeah. I love both of them for sure. At this point, especially over Carson.
Hilarious in the preseason. So I probably would have picked either of them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I think these were my winner picks at the beginning of the seasons. But yeah, anyway, so that's how it is. So I'm excited. So someone's gonna join. So Cameron had Rachel, I had Miles, and Brains versus Brawn 2. So someone is going to join. Either I'm gonna get my second win, or Kevin or Sarah are gonna.
I am predicting a Kyle win, regardless of how it happens. And since I have Kyle on my team, I think I'm joining this winner circle.
Yay! We can have the winner's circle, and we can have Sarah not be in it with the three of us. If Sarah's not involved with you, me, and Cam, I will laugh so hard.
Amazing.
Be so much irony. And Michael and Austin will probably get there eventually as well. So.
Yeah. So just as long as Sarah doesn't, it'll make me
All right. Well, with that, we will see you next week for our finale on the Tribe of Nerds.
Fuck you, Pirate Sarah.